This is the Washington Times front page for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. President Trump says the U.S. military will soon carry out missile strikes on land against drug traffickers in some South American countries. Jeff Murdoch reports the president's plans, announced during a cabinet meeting Tuesday, will expand operations that so far have focused on smugglers' boats in the Caribbean Sea. Some lawmakers have accused Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth of war crimes after a second military strike on an alleged drug boat in September reportedly killed survivors of the first strike. The U.S. strikes have destroyed 22 vessels and killed 83 people. House members working on a package of bills to protect children online say they're trying to strike the appropriate balance between forcing technology companies to implement safeguards and protecting users' rights. Lindsay McPherson reports the House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee held a hearing Tuesday to debate 19 bills designed to create a safer online environment for children and teens. The goal is to tweak the bills as necessary to earn broad support for a package that can pass the House. Among the bills discussed was the Kids Online Safety Act, which requires social media companies to provide the strongest safety settings for children by default and give parents more control over those settings. The Senate sponsors of that act have expressed frustration that the House version doesn't include their duty of care provision, which would require social media companies to implement design standards to protect minors from specific harms. The Supreme Court is grappling with a challenge from a network of pro-life pregnancy centers against New Jersey's demand for the names and contact information of the group's donors. Alex Schroyer and Valerie Richardson report the issue is whether First Choice Women's Resource Centers may defend its First Amendment rights in federal court rather than first seeking to do so in state court. The Third U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled last year the pregnancy center's First Amendment claim wasn't ripe because it had to challenge the subpoena in state court. The Trump administration, siding with First Choice, told the court that the group has clear standing or the legal right to challenge the state's subpoena. A minimum wage hike of up to $30 an hour is gaining popularity in swing states and major cities, and a coalition is now pushing Democrats to pledge a substantial wage increase. Susan Ferricchio reports the coalition has launched a political action committee targeting Democrats who don't support the wage hike. Democrats have refocused their political message on affordability, a top concern among voters, and an issue they believe President Trump and other Republicans have failed to address. Minimum wages vary by state and locality, including $17.50 in Washington, D.C., $16.50 in New York City, and $14 in Florida. The federal hourly minimum wage for most workers anywhere in the United States is $7.25 and hasn't been raised in more than 15 years. And finally, South Korea has launched its largest ever sanctions package to target transnational crime syndicates in Southeast Asia. Andrew Salmon reports the sanctions target 132 entities and 15 individuals. They include 2 Cambodia-based organizations linked to investment scams, cybercrime, and money laundering. The move follows the killing, apparently by torture, of a South Korean college student in Cambodia and a slew of recent arrests and extraditions. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.